business, in being an entrepreneur, in being a network marketer, if we don't, have the results just yet. I don't know if you've ever felt like that, but I know that there are so many people in network marketing that they kind of struggle with that emotionally and getting out there and doing the activities. So we're going to talk about, what you can do if you are having those thoughts right now, or perhaps if you have somebody in your organization that is maybe kind of going through that in their mind. So the first thing we want to do is model the behavior of somebody that's already gone before us, somebody that's gone down the path. They know the landmines, they know the road, and they can really kind of take us by the hand and walk us through. And so, a lot of times we get in network marketing and we listen, but we don't model. So learning to model the behavior of the people that have gone before us, I think, is so very important. Now, a caveat to that is everybody has different strengths and different weaknesses. We live in a day and age where we're blessed. I mean, you can prospect out and about, you can prospect online, you can prospect warm market. I mean, there's so many different ways that you can get the word out about what you do. So it is about finding something that is a good fit for you, because I don't believe in a one size fits all. I mean, not every single person is going to do the same thing, but if you've modeled somebody that is doing something that you feel comfortable, you're like, hey, I can do that. Just get on the bandwagon and just follow what they're doing. Follow the steps, because if they've already done that thing successfully and you're like, feeling good about it for yourself, then just model it and don't deviate to the left or the right. Just try and follow exactly what they did. So that is the first thing. The second thing is we got to go with childlike faith. Like, this thing works. Network marketing has been around for many, many years. And, sometimes it's easy to get out there and get building and get doing this stuff, and the winds of life blow, and we start feeling a little beat up. We start feeling a little bit like, oh my gosh, is this ever going to happen? Go with childlike faith. They say if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, small as mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move, and it will cast itself into the sea. So, having that faith, and how do you get that faith? Best thing I can tell you is, hey, ask God for some help, on a regular basis, especially if I'm going to go meet with a prospect, or definitely if I'm going to do any kind of event where I'm speaking to a group of people. I always ask God, hey, God, give me some wisdom, give me some discernment. How can I connect with these people? How can I help these people on a greater level? What can I say that's gonna fall right where they need it? It's gonna hit their heart. It's gonna fall in their mind. They're gonna be open and ready to receive it. And you know what? If you ask God for wisdom, you ask Him for discernment, it says He's gonna give it to you liberally, like as much as you want, which is totally awesome. But here's the thing, and this is the big caveat, is you have to not doubt. You can't doubt in your heart. Like, you can't receive and say like, oh, did I get it? I don't know. You have to believe in your heart, right? Because there's so many different miracles that were done in the Bible, and everything was done according to your faith. So have that mustard seed faith. Just believe, have that childlike belief that, hey, you know what? It worked for so many people before. I know it's working for people all around me. It's time for this to work for me. So God, give me some wisdom and discernment so that the prospects that I need to call, they come to my memory. They're like, hey, I already know these people. Just bring them to my memory so that I know, and I'll think about them. I'll write them down, and I'll reach out and I'll get in front of them. Or maybe you're sitting down and you're doing a one-on-one, and it's time to, you're kind of going through stuff. Just the more you ask God for His wisdom, the more your ear gets tuned into what He's saying, the more you'll be able to hear it. And you might be going through a meeting and be at a spot where it's just time to connect with that prospect and hear where they're at and see what's going on in their life. And you know what? When you are in tune with those type of things, then typically, from what I've seen in my life, everything goes a lot better than if we are on us and our agenda and what we're going to do and forcing things into place. Because trust me, I did that one for a long time. And I found this to be a lot better way. So that's number 2. Number 3, fill your calendar. If you fill your calendar will serve you, my friend. What does that look like? That looks like getting some numbers on the board. Oftentimes, we are dealing with this mindset situation, so we're not doing the activity that we know we need to do to get results. Okay, so here's what we want to do is we want to find someone that we can model their behavior. We want to go with that childlike faith, and then we want to slam some numbers on the board. Because oftentimes people that are not moving or progressing as fast as they would like to see, when we open the calendar, which is the report card for network marketing, it is the thing that reveals all, right? When we open the calendar, if we don't see a lot of things that are on there, if we don't see either a lot of activity, which is things that you can control, like prospecting, talking to people, when you're out there and you're throwing the fishing line out, you can control that. What you can't control is how many signups you get, but you can control your part. You can control, hey, you know what? I'm going to go for this many appointments, and I might have to talk to this many people, or I might have to talk to this many people. But the part you can control is what you want to focus on. So if we can control some different parts and we fill our calendar, your calendar will serve you in return. And so that is a big thing, because oftentimes, the calendar is sparse, right? Like there's not a lot going on there. And just think about it for a minute, okay? Most people that join network marketing, they may invest minimal startup, okay? $500, $1,000, $1,500 at the most. Like the startup to start a business in our profession it should be more. It's not. It's minimal. So a lot of times people have minimal commitment. But just imagine for yourself for a moment that maybe you are a salon owner, a chiropractor, you're a doctor, you're something, okay? And for you to be in business, you need to have appointments on your calendar. Like if we open the calendar and next week there was no appointments, like you would be freaking out. You'd be like, oh my gosh, I gotta hustle on the phone, I gotta get some appointments. But us in network marketing, because this is not our primary source of income and we didn't have a ton invested, it's like, babe, I got one this week, I got one all month. I mean, we don't have the same buy-in. So you have to, in your mind, think, hey, I'm in business for myself. Okay, if I'm in business for myself, how do I want to grow that business? How many appointments am I going to have on my calendar? So just fill your calendar. It will serve you, I promise. The fourth one is, this is one that I think a lot of people don't do, and it's probably one of my big pet peeves. Okay, if we're out there and we're doing something and we are not getting success, then we need to stop doing it. Okay, now that may sound like, Summer, please don't tell me that. That's ridiculous, okay? But here's what I mean. A lot of times we get going and we hit a roadblock, and instead of like saying, oh man, this is an area that I'm not getting the results I was hoping for and I would like to change that, instead of stopping and slowing down and counseling upline and seeking wise counsel, we just keep doing and doing and doing. So here's the rule of thumb. If you have the same obstacle and you get that twice, put the brakes on, stop and counsel upline. So like, for example, let's say you are calling, you have your list of connections, you're on the phone, you're talking to them, and you're like, oh, okay, I've talked to a couple of people, and man, I keep getting the same response, the same objection, the same like red flag that like really I don't want to get because I'm terrified to get that, right? If that happens, we need to stop. We need to put this down and we need to call upline and say, hey, I've talked to 5 people. 2 out of the 5 said this. They said, is this a pyramid scheme? They said, whatever they said, right? Whatever they said. If we have the same problem and you can see like, okay, I did that once. Ooh, that wasn't so good. Maybe we want to sit back and kind of learn from it. But if we do it again and we get the same result, we need to hold the show and fix it. Because if we keep plowing ahead, number one, if this is you and you're going through your warm market, you're going through your contacts, we're going to burn through our contacts, which is not good. And number two, let's say you're out prospecting or you're out showing the plan, you're doing a home party, and you have the same thing that happens. If we don't adjust it, if we don't kind of tweak and fix that little thing, then you're not going to want to do it anymore, or you're going to be afraid to do it. So it's very, very important. If we have the same problem twice, we need to hold up the show, hold the brakes, get some wise counsel, and then get right back into action. And if you get back into action and we're still getting it, we need to go back to the drawing board again. We need to tweak until we get it there. I don't know if you've heard this phrase, but the drama is in the details. If you look at anybody that's a master at their craft, whether it's in karate, whether it's in salsa dancing, whether it's in whatever, quilt making, I don't care, whatever it is, it's always the details that make them an expert. It's always the details that make them the master in the craft. And so sometimes when we get going, we get out there with the machete and we are hacking away, right? We're just going for it, which is awesome, especially when we're new. But sometimes we got to kind of like fine tune that, like, okay, enough with the machete. Let's just kind of go a little bit at a different angle. You know what I mean? So we want to adjust because it's the adjusting that's going to help us get our goals. If we continue hacking away, we won't probably get the results that we're looking for, and then we'll get frustrated, and we don't want that. So that is important. Number 5, when we are out there and we're new and we don't have our own results, the most important thing that you can do is lean on the credibility of those who have gone before you. Lean on the results of your leaders. You can share stories like it's nobody's business. And you know what? Storytelling, what we do in our profession in network marketing, it's one of the highest paid professions out there. And so, if you're new or if you're like been in a year or 6 months and you're like, man, I don't have the results that I'm proud of or that I'm comfortable with, you just have to lean on the results of those around you, whether it's a testimony of your product, a health testimony or something like that, or whether it's an income testimony. Lean on those testimonies of those people around you. And you got to kind of think of yourself as like, I don't want to say a gunfighter, but you got to have some ammo in your pocket, right? You got to know, like, okay, if I get in this scenario, I got this story I can throw on the table. If I'm in this scenario, I got this story. You have to have kind of a repertoire of different things that you can use that are your stories, because you know what? Facts tell and stories sell. Okay, so like if we want people to come to a decision, we have to move them emotionally. The facts and the figures that's all fine and dandy, but people do not buy in facts and figures. They buy an emotion and they back it up with the facts and figures. So the more we can stir the emotion by including stories, ours or anybody else's, the better off that we are going to be in moving that prospect to a yes decision. So that is number 5. And here's number 6. We got to trust the process. Trust the process. If you just think about the glory, the most beautiful thing of our profession is that people come in, all different ethnicities, all different walks of life, some with college degrees, some with none, some that speak the language of the land, some that don't. And everybody that has trusted the process and gone through the steps that we've talked about, gone out there, put some numbers on the board, tweaked as they needed, followed a mentor, and got to the finish line, they're no different than you. They are no different than you. They just chose to persevere. They just chose to not let the fear hold them back, not let the obstacles hold them back, not let I got that same objection again hold them back, but they chose to tweak and grow and learn and move on forward. There are millions and millions of people whose lives have been forever changed financially because of our incredible profession. And so if it happened for all of them, then why not you? Why not you at this time? You've probably gone through some stuff. You've probably gone through some bad experiences, okay? You've probably had some different things to deal with, but here's what I know. Sometimes you got to go through the muck and the mire and all of that because it's preparing you for the things that God has prepared for you. It has built your character. It has built your work ethic. It has built your experience in a different way. If we don't go out there and we don't have anything to judge the rest of what we do on, then it's harder to really enjoy your success. And you know what? Here's what I can share from my own life is that the things that were the hardest for me in my life to go through, when we had many, many properties we lost to foreclosure, when our marriage was on the rocks, when we had all these different things that we were dealing with, while it was uncomfortable and hurtful and just really a mess to go through at the time, I would not change it for the world. Because it's because of being forged in the furnace of affliction that we have emerged stronger in our marriage, in our finances, in our mindset, in our leadership, in everything that we are as a person. And you know what? I am no different than you. If that's what happened for me, then you have to choose to look at your experiences from the past as something that is shaping you for the things that God has planned in store for you. If you believe that in your heart, and you don't, let your dreams fall by the wayside. We live in a day and age where people put everything on the back burner. Like, oh, I want to do this. I really want to do this. I really want to do that. They have all these dreams. And we just live in a society where it's easier to turn on the TV and sit down in front of the couch and do something non-productive than go fight for our dreams. But I believe that you are here for such a time as this. You are here because you have a dream in your heart and you are willing to go for it. So I want to encourage you, do not throw in the towel. Take these 6 things that we talked about, apply them in your life, use them. If this is helpful, pass it along to those team members that you have, because it's through keeping the faith, it's through having that childlike faith, through having that mustard seed faith that you are going to make this happen. It will not be easy. Do not let anybody tell you it will. That That is the disclaimer for network marketing. Won't be easy. Will be worth it. The time that you put into this will be worth it. It will be a life-changing thing that can not only change things for you and your family, but for the generations that have come from you. I have seen people that have joined our organization, didn't know anything, construction backgrounds, air conditioning backgrounds, sheet metal backgrounds, waiters and waitresses that come in, join the team, follow the mentor, go out there, do the motions, change and adjust as needed. And you know what? They get to the top of the company. They're making more money than they've ever imagined. Their kids will never be the same. The generations that come from them will never be the same because they decided to not throw in the towel and go for it 100%. So if you've had any of those negative thoughts, it's time to cast them to the wayside. It's time to say, you know what, that is not for me and my family. I'm moving forward. This is my year. This is my season. And this is the thing that God has in store for you. And you know what? You're going to have to sing that over yourself on a daily basis. You're going to have to declare that over your life, but it can happen for you. If it happened for me, if it happened for so many of my other friends in our organization, so many people in network marketing, then why not you? And why not now? This is your time, my friend. This is your season. Now, you know, one of the things that I know so many people do deal with is things of the past. Whether it's hurts, whether it's unforgiveness, whether it's past failures. We have all different things that we as a person, we're like a diamond, very multifaceted. And sometimes there's different parts that get clouded up or become a point of contention or become a sore spot that makes it difficult for us to move forward. So I have something that if you are in a spot in your life where you maybe either have some things that are holding you back or you really want to get focused and you want to get clear on what it's going to take for you to move forward, then I have something that will help. If you click on the link that's listed here in the description, this is a special bonus training. It's a free gift to you, and it is a 10-step process that will basically help you walk through dealing with the drama, cutting through the crap, and finally getting to your breakthrough. Finally being able to have the honor and the privilege and opportunity to be able to walk across stage at your next company convention with the owners of the company singing your praises, with them introducing you at the top level in your company, with you ranking up and finally getting to the finish line. So get that, my friends. It is my gift to you. And that is it. I will see y'all next time. For more great training and to receive your free bonus training, the 10-step process for getting out of your own way and finally rank advancing, visit summergeronimo.com.